Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're okay. Hopefully the light is great. I've got the ring light behind the camera and it's dazzling my eyes. So if I look a bit light struck, like a cat in headlights, I do apologise. Anyway, Saturday afternoon. What can I say about football? I don't know really. Wrexham, which is local to me. Wycombe lost, who were sort of challenging Wrexham for automatic promotion. They lost. Wrexham, as far as I know, up until now, were 2-0 up. I don't know if the game's over or anything now, but I know at one point they were 2-0 up against Charlton. So they're going to be promoted to the Championship. So they're sort of local to where I am, but unfortunately, I'm a hardcore Sheffield United fan. There's no way I'm going to be supporting Wrexham, I'm afraid. But there is a good chance that if we don't get promoted, we will be playing Wrexham next year. So that's been my day. It's quite interesting, all that lot. I've been out for a couple of pints, had a bit of food, been in Spoons, had a chat with a couple of blokes that I know, which has been real nice. Had a couple of decent beers, and now me and the wife have just got home. She's out there on her phone, as you do, having a fag on her phone, chilling out a little bit. So I've decided to come up here, do a beer review. Right, minute and a half in, I've told you a load of bollocks. You're probably not interested. So the beer review we are coming up with now is a beer that I picked up from a local supermarket called Stad in St Martin's. But the beer isn't actually local as such. So it's Tomos Watkin Brewery. They're out of Swansea, but it is actually brewed at Drop Bear Beer Company, also in Swansea, and about 2 units down from Tomos Watkin Brewery. So I don't know what the crack is with that. So it's a South Wales beer. I'm guessing it's going to be sort of like a real ale. And this is their Cwrw Half. And it is a summer ale, which is what I'm led to believe that actually means. So it's coming in at 4.2%, cost me £2.39, 500ml bottle, 4.2%. There you go. There's all the information. The label is beautiful, and I've got to say, it was the artwork on all these bottles that really caught my eye. So I'm expecting sort of like a golden ale style beer from this. We got a plain black crown. Don't have a Tomos Watkins glass, so we're going to whack it in this purple moose glass, which is actually a North Wales brewery from Bala. But what the hell? There we go. The light's on. The bottle's lovely as well. I don't know if you can see, but you can see it's embossed. It's got Tomos Watkin on the side, a little bit like the old Samuel Smith stuff. They have their name embossed. I think it's beautiful. It does just adds that little bit extra to the bottle. Probably costs them more money to do stuff like that, but I do like them little extra features on a bottle of beer. For me, they do add to it. Stop talking, let's get it cracked open and see what we get. So, beero in a glass, and my glass looks absolutely filthy looking at it like this. Don't know if it's just water has dried down it and it looks minging, but I do tend to clean my glasses very good. But yeah, maybe just some water that's just drained off and dried. It's a beer in a glass. There we go. Slightly amber, golden. Nice sort of small bubbles going up the middle of the glass. So I wouldn't say there's massive carbonation, but there is a nice level of carbonation. This glass, trying to show any of that off is hard work. And we've got just over a finger of white head, slightly off white head. There we go. Looks decent. Got to be said. Right, stop talking. Let's go in on the nose, see what we get. There's a bit left in the bottle. I believe it said it's got Fuggles and Goldings on the back actually. Hops, Goldings, oh no, Goldings and Cascade. And it's got that, I would say it's got that typical sort of golden sort of nose. It's very malty, very grainy. And hop wise, it's very sort of British. It's got that very sort of Goldings feel, in my opinion. Cascade, I wouldn't really say I'm picking that up. But yes, smells like a traditional sort of British ale, a golden ale if you like. So I'm going to try and get the rest in the glass. Perfect, didn't go over. So there we go. That's what the beer looks like. Tomos Watkin Brewery, Cwrw half, and their summer ale coming in at 4.2% ABV out of Swansea. Let's dive in, give her a little taster. Cheers. Ooh, cool, blimey. Yeah, it's definitely summer ale, golden ale. They can call it what they like, but for me, the flavours in that are typical sort of golden ale. Not unpleasant though, not unpleasant. But I'll get to the bit where I went, God blimey. We're going again. 4.2%. Yes, it is light. But when you actually properly have a good mouthful of it, it's got a nice body. A nice body for 4.2%. There is a little bit of weight to it. Yeah, it's light, but I wouldn't say it's thin. There is that weight to it. The carbonation in there is a little bit aggressive, in my opinion. It is quite full on. And I would almost say it's pop-like. So a can of Coke, can of pop, whatever you're drinking, it's got that feel about it. That is a little bit of a downside, but body-wise, pleasant, quite easy drinking, it's got to be said. Right, mate, chicken wings coming up. Hoppy, malty, grainy. I wouldn't say I'm picking massive amounts up there. I couldn't distinguish any certain flavours, if you like, but it is malty. You get that little hoppy bite. There is a little bit of bitterness. It's got that very much typical golden ale feel, which isn't a bad thing. Isn't a bad thing because it's got lots of nice flavours. Probably the biggest downside, like I say, is that carbonation at the moment, which isn't the biggest, isn't the worst thing going for this. Well, I'm going back on what I'm saying. It's the worst thing going for this beer, but it doesn't destroy the beer, and it doesn't kill the beer or make the beer any worse, really. As well, it does, but not. You know what I'm trying to say. If there's a downside to the beer, it's the carbonation, but not so bad that you would not drink it. That is what I'm trying to say. Malty, hoppy, honey-like, you could say, in the flavour. You know, if I'm grasping at straws, there's a touch of sort of like lemon in there. Lemongrass. I don't, it's the sort of beer that it's real, it's honest, it's traditional, but without a wow factor. It's what you expect from this kind of beer, but a well brewed beer of this style. That is what it is. It's not going to blow any minds, but it's one of them. It's definitely one of them that you, again, it's the sort of beer you could go out and have a nice meal in the pub on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Nice bit of weather. Drink two, 3 pints of these if you're lucky enough to have a designated driver or a taxi or someone who's going to pick you up. It's a sort of beer you can drink with that. You can eat chicken and all that sort of thing. It's that sort of thing. It's kind of light and would go with that sort of food. But as in general drinking experience, again, it's light, easy going. That isn't going to blow your mind. It's probably going to be one that you probably appreciate more with a nice bit of food in a pub. But what I can say is there's nothing nasty, there's nothing surprising about it, and it just does what it says on the bottle. So Tomos Watkin Brewery, Cwrw Half Summer Ale, 4.2%. Just a good, honest, decent drop, and I would recommend anyone picking it up. So I'm going to assume that you're only going to pick this up in Wales, if you like. I picked this up from the Wrexham stands in St Martin's, which is, we're on the border of Wales. But I'm guessing if you're more really in England, you're probably not going to be able to get this. But if you do see it, give it a go. It's well worth a go if you like your trad beers. I can't really knock it. It's not going to blow your mind, but what it's going to do is give you just a nice drinking experience. Thank you all for watching. If you've had the beer before, let me know what you thought. I'll see you again soon on another one. Enjoy your night. Cheers.